Hey guys, I'm Chef Doc Allen. It's been another beautiful day in Austin, Texas. Here about day 21 in quarantine. We're gonna do a little cooking demo today and see what you got in your pantry. Using one protein, see if we can get 5 or 6 meals out of it. You ready? Let's get it on. Okay guys, so I'm an out of work chef just like a lot of you guys out there. Today we're gonna try and help those guys out there that are used to eating out at the restaurants and Hungry Man dinners and ordering pizzas, and see if we can help you guys out, learn how to cook some food that I think that you're gonna enjoy, that's gonna be economical and have fun with as well. Okay guys, so what we're gonna start with today is a basic spice mix. It's gonna be kind of like a mother spice, generally out of stuff that you can usually find in your pantry. If you can't, you absolutely have to go to the grocery store, you can, but very simple. Salt, 2 parts salt, 1 part black pepper, 1 part garlic powder, 1 part onion powder or granulated garlic. You should end up looking something like this. This is your mother spice. When I had my restaurant on the coast, me and Doug Bell, nothing left our kitchen without this. The steaks, the vegetables, everything but the creme brulee. Now, with this, you take 1 tablespoon, add 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and boom, just like that, you have a reasonable facsimile to make anything you want. It should look a little bit like this, kind of reddish. If you got paprika, put it in there. You want a little cayenne pepper, make it a little spicy, put it in there. This is all about guidelines, guys. Use what you got. If you don't, move on. Thirdly, now we have our home spice, our mama spice. We put a tablespoon in there, and then it's fine. Some good old Italian spice blend. When I go cooking for friends and I go rummaging through their pantry, I almost always find some of this. So now we have our salt, garlic, powder, onions. Now we have everything we need to make something with an Italian flair. So we got home style American, Hispanic south of the border, and Italian. These 3 things can help you cook a multitude of items. Now, I don't know what it is with you guys. Everybody's got dried parsley. And I don't know what recipes you guys are in that calls for parsley flakes, but I found a great use for these parsley flakes. There's several different things, but I prefer, if I want my sink and my pipes to smell like used yard clippings, kind of like some rancid Johnson grass or St. Augustine, I just do this with my dried parsley. Oh yeah. So good. It's also really good in compost, but the best thing about a bottle of dried parsley is now we have something cool to put our Mexican spice blend in, right? Okay guys, so just in case you do have an onion, it doesn't have to be a yellow onion like this one. I like yellow onions because they're affordable. You can be used as raw or cooked. That's a good versatile onion. But if you only got a red one, use a red one. You know, it's like, I don't like yellow ones. Well, don't use it, Karen. Use whatever you got, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this onion. I'm going to show you how to dice it. See this? That's a little tail. You want to leave that on there. Just take the top off first, or the bottom, I reckon. Then come down this way. Take the hide off of it. I'm trained in French classical and traditional American. I graduated chef school back in the 1900s, in the 90s. Anyway, the French classical way, they will tell you to slice it this way and then come down. We're not going to have to do that. You guys don't have to worry about those kind of knife skills, but you do want to try and get a sharp knife if you have to. Keeping the tail here, kind of come down, depending on how big you want it diced. Just a little bit. We're about to cook some ground beef with it. Then you just hold it. Keep your fingers back. Right? So now you got a beautifully diced onion. I'm going to save that, because what we're going to do, we're going to take a lean protein and we're going to find 5 or 6 meals to do out of that lean protein. Now if you are lucky enough to have some garlic, some fresh garlic, sometimes I'll use the jarred garlic because I'm lazy, but if you can, and you have it around, the fresh is always better. Fastest way to get rid of that papery outside, just smack it. Smack it. Smack it. All the goodies come right out, see? Alright. And then it's just a matter of the rock and roll. Just keep your knife on the cutting board. Just kind of let the knife do the work. You feel me? Just chop it up. That's if you got fresh garlic. If you don't, you don't need it because you got your spice mix that has garlic in it. People say, well, isn't that too much garlic if you already got dried garlic in there? No. Hell no. Not enough. Plenty of garlic. Alright, so we got our garlic and onions. Next we're going to get our protein. Today we're going to use good old lean ground beef. I think this is a 70-30 split. If you'll see it says 80-20. That's 80% lean, 20% fat. And don't be afraid of the fat. If you want something leaner, then use it. But a little bit of fat's where it's at. It's what gives you your flavor. Now, it doesn't have to be beef. You can do this with ground pork, ground chicken, and vegans. I'm thinking about you. You can do this with ground Impossible Burger, Beyond Beef, whatever. I think there's still some of that on the shelf. But anyway, any of those things will work. Virtually anything ground beef. So I'm going to show you what we can do with this ground beef. We've got our seasonings. We're going to do a basic seasoning to do several different things, right? We've got our mama seasoning. We got our beef. We got garlic and onions. So now it's time to put some heat on and get to cooking. Okay guys, we're going to cook our beef off. I got a 73-27 split. It's a little fattier than most, but that's what was on sale the day I bought it. I'm using some good old vegetable oil. If you don't have vegetable oil, you can use olive oil or canola oil, or I wouldn't use sesame oil or something that was is really flavored, but just a little bit to keep the beef from sticking in the very beginning is all we need right now. Then we're gonna take our beef and just in little pieces as we start again. The oil just kind of helps it to keep from sticking, and I'm using my my good, well-seasoned cast iron pan I got from this woman right here, my mama. Rest in peace, mama. You'd be proud of me, mama. Anyway, just put a little bit of time. We don't want to stir it around too much right at first. We want to get some color on it. Feel me? We're trying to get those fats to come out because remember we got our garlic and onion over there. Okay? Okay, I rarely see beef come seasoned from the grocery store. So we're going to season a little bit with our mother's spice. That's our salt, garlic, onion stuff, but not much. Just a little bit, because we have to decide what we're going to do with it once we got it cooked off. Now we got some good fat going. See all that? It's a good time for our garlic and onion. I just put the garlic in with the onion. Usually use the onion first, but we're just trying to have some fun with the guidelines, y'all. These are all just guidelines. We're going to cook. Oh man, it smells hot. It smells good, doesn't it, Steve? Oh yeah. This good old ground beef. And like I said, this could be ground pork, could be ground chicken. Big ground lamb. I love ground lamb. And let that stuff go. Let it get some color on it. Because what we're doing with this is going to be several different things depending on what you got on in your pantry today. Almost there. While this is cooking, I'm going to set up a thing to drain all this grease off of here. I suggest everybody drains the grease off. Don't put it down your pipes. I have a very delicate system here in the cabin, so it's really important that I don't put grease down the tube. And again, this is all about guidelines, y'all. Someone says I don't like fresh garlic. It makes me fart. But don't put garlic in there. Don't put the fresh garlic in there. Guidelines. I burp when I eat onions. Don't put onions in there, but I feel terrible for y'all that can't have garlic and onions. Alright, that's about what we got, guys. We seasoned it. And a little bit more. Alright. Looks good. We'll turn this off. Drain it. Now my mom, my grandmother, they would rinse it. I mean, wash the beef. We're not going to wash it today. I want a little of that fat. I ain't scared. We want that fat. Alright. So with this right here, we're going to come up with a bunch of different things for us to eat for dinner. Okay guys, to accompany our beef that we made earlier, we're going to make two different starches, a rice and a pasta. The rice, everybody seems to have trouble with how to cook rice. It's 1 part rice to 2 parts water, salted buttered water. Once it reaches a simmer like this, you put your 1 part rice in, stir it up, let it come back to a simmer, and while it comes back to a simmer, cover it, and then turn it down. About 15 to 20 minutes, and then it's common sense, we'll just check it. Now if you're not using parboiled rice, I highly suggest you rinse that rice a little bit so you don't see all the cloudiness. I'm using the cheap rice I get usually at the Mexican store. It's a little bit starchier, but that parboiled rice is absolutely dead solid, foolproof. So keep that in mind. Now your pasta water is just your water with salt. And look, people, I can't stress this enough. There's only a few basic rules in life. You don't cheat, you don't steal, you don't lie, you don't beat people up, you're not ugly to others, you don't kill anybody, you don't bang your neighbor's wife, and always, always, always salt your pasta water. Okay? Alright, let's move on. The pasta water, and you don't need oil, by the way. Oil and water don't mix. Oil will just float around on the top. There's a place for oil in cooking pasta, but not when you're cooking the pasta. You feel me? Alright, today I've chosen a spiral pasta. I'm going to dump it in there. And the ratio of water to pasta is really unimportant. You just want to make sure there's enough water in the pan to where the pasta can move about freely. You feel me? So while these things are going, we're going to get ready for round 2 of our meat sauce. So I'll be right back. One thing I forgot to mention is to keep your pasta moving a little bit so it doesn't get sticky. You'll know when it starts to get that texture like you like it. I like to run it over water a little bit and taste it. Yeah, too starchy. Not ready for us yet, but it is perfectly salted. So be patient, let it go. It should take about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes for the pasta or the rice. Just keep an eye on it. Pasta will probably be done before the rice. Okay guys, so I got my pasta. I got it just al dente, just the way I like it. It's a little bit firmer than I like because it's going to keep cooking. It's cooking right now. Still cooking, still cooking, still cooking. Now I'm going to take some cool water and run it over there. We're not going to put it in an ice bath. This is going to stop the cooking process and still keep it a little bit warm. Now, this is where you can use your oil for your pasta. You feel me? We got our pasta. Put it back in here. I'll be right back, Steve. Hold on. So once again, I'm just using a little bit of canola oil, a little vegetable oil. That's all we need. Now we've got our pasta. Let's check our rice real quick. I think this pasta's good to go. All right, it's been about 20 minutes. All right, see, our rice is kind of fluffy. Nice. We turn the heat off. We're just gonna kind of let it set, let the rest of that liquid absorb, and then we'll get ready to start doing some real cooking. Here we go. Okay guys, so we got 3 hot pans here. We've divided up our beef into 3 different, our beautiful beef with our mother spice, our garlic, our onions. We got 1. We got 2. Remember, again, just a little oil so to keep that beef from sticking. And number 3. So we got 1. We're doing an Italian one. We're going to do a Mexican one, and then a good old home style one. All right. Let's do the south of the border first. I know all you güeros and güeras have these from leftover from making queso at Super Bowl. You have your perfectly seasoned ground beef, a little bit of rotel. We're going to mix that up. Ah, it smells delicious, doesn't it, Steve? Oh, yeah. And then this is our beautiful Mexican spice, right? Can you dig it? Just remember, there's salt in there, so don't go too crazy. We got that going. We're going to turn this down a little bit. All right. Meanwhile, we got this guy going over here. Now, I'd like to make some spaghetti. Sometimes you might have this. This is the cheapest stuff you can get, $1.50 a can. If you don't have this, you can use tomato sauce. If you don't have tomato sauce, you can use chopped tomatoes. Whatever you got in the pantry, it's all about guidelines. You feel me? So we got our beautifully seasoned beef. We're going to put our generic ass spaghetti sauce in there. But luckily, we can dank it up with our beautiful Italian spice here. And once again, remember, there's salt in there. Alright, so that's going to change the whole profile of our generic sauce over here. You feel me? So we're just going to let that simmer. Let that go. It's rocking like Slayer, y'all. Now over here, we're going to do some home style stuff, and how many times you have some kind of cream of something? I'm using cream of mushroom because it was left over from Thanksgiving making green beans. It could be cream of asparagus, cream of chicken. Dump it in there with the beef. Seems kind of gross, I know. And that seems like a lot. That's why we're going to add a little bit of water to it. Alright, so I got cream of mushroom soup with beef and onions and garlic and our famous mama spice. We're going to put a little more mama spice in there. Alright. Now we're working it. Alright. So we're going to do an awesome home style casserole with this one. We've got all kinds of things we're going to do with this. Tacos, chili, we'll see. And over here, this could be a pasta sauce. This could be sauce for your lasagna. We're just going to let all of this kind of simmer, get all fat and happy together. Then we're going to check it for seasonings and put all this stuff together so we could eat. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, one more thing, guys, I neglected to mention. There's a couple things going to be here after the apocalypse. One of them is going to be cockroaches. The other one is going to be frozen peas and carrots. Check it out. They seem to never get freezer burned, and it seems like you guys have them in your freezer all the freaking time. I don't know what you do with them. And dried parsley, but it's going to go into our little home style thing. So I'm not wearing my gloves. I'm not touching it. We're going to put in our home style with our cream of mushroom soup and our beef, all these beautiful peas and carrots. I'll show you what we're going to do with them here in a little bit. Alright, let that go. Then I'm going to show you how to cut lettuce and tomatoes for our tacos. You ready? Watch me. Okay guys, I love iceberg lettuce, and I get it. It doesn't have all the vitamins and nutrients, but it's crisp, it's delicious, and it reminds me of my favorite, you know, Mexican food joints and whatever. Anyway, to clean this lettuce, it looks a little sketchy, I get it. Just kind of pump it like this, and the core will come out. You're going to remove all this crappy part. That's the rust colored. We don't want that. Alright. Once we get there, we're just going to rinse it a little bit. We've gotten rid of most of the dirty part, but... Alright, now, if you want that really sweet feathered look of chopped lettuce, pull it out like this. See it? Here we go. Here we go. Roll it. You feel me? Alright, take your knife. Hopefully you got a sharp one. Keep it on there. This is the rock and roll method. Watch what you're doing. Keep your fingers back. Nice and easy. Right? See that? If you want to just pull it up. Really want that really thin fret, you know, the thin feather. See, since we rolled it up like that, we get that beautiful fluffy lettuce that we like so much from the Mexican food restaurants. This is what we'll put on our tacos. It could be a taco salad. But that's how I like to do my lettuce, my iceberg lettuce. I love it. Tomatoes, I've already washed them. Okay? I like to use aromas because they're just so versatile. You can use the big vine ripes, and I love to eat a big vine ripe tomato just with some sea salt like an apple, but there's a couple ways to cut these guys. Alright, here's the easiest way for you guys at home that don't have a bunch of knife skills, and that's okay. First, just barely take that little booger off. Alright, then cut it in half long ways. Alright, then slowly slice it. Take your time. Let the knife do the work, right? And then come back and do it again. If you kind of push and pull, you'll get a nice little, see some nice tomatoes. Now, in the catering industry, when you want to be really fancy and really make it look cool, here's another technique you can try at home. And all you home chefs that are out of work like me, I get it. Some of this is kind of hackish, but we're trying to help people out here, guys. Take the tip off, just the tip, slide it down, then kind of separate it with your knife, and just try and get all the seed part out. See there? Just keep rolling it, grab it here, and continue. All right. This right here I like to use for salsas. You can put it in your spaghetti sauce. Chop it up, put it in your spaghetti sauce if you want to. Anyway, this mostly just kind of takes all the seeds. Some people feel like the seeds are a little bitter. And then using your rock and roll method, slice up your tomatoes. See, turn it, hand out of the way. Really, I don't want anybody getting hurt, nobody getting cut. Can you dig it? Alright, so that's two different ways to cut tomatoes. It's all tomatoes. We're going to keep them all together. Okay? Alright, we're going to check on our sauces. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so our first little dish from our lean protein that we're going to have so many different things from, we're going to do a casserole. It's a good old home style casserole. It's really good with a green salad or something. Just a little touch of oil, just to make whoever gets stuck with washing the dishes a little bit easier on them. Kind of move it around. It's still pretty greasy in here. Now remember we cooked our rice, turned out nice and fluffy, pretty good. We're going to mix that in with our ground beef, peas and carrots. Got our onions in there. Beautiful, right? And we're just eyeballing. I can't tell you it's 3 cups or whatever. It's guidelines, y'all. I'm telling you, it's just guidelines. If we were baking or doing some kind of beautiful truffles or pastries or something, we would have to be really careful. And then you're getting into science. This ain't science. This is Cabin Fever Chronicles, and we cook with what we got. All right. So I get it. That looks kind of a little mushy and stuff, but the starch in that rice is gonna combine with the meat, the juices, the fat. All right. So we got a ricey meat dish with peas and carrots. We're gonna dump it in there. Spread it out a little bit. Try to get all the rice clumps out. All right. And this is just homey. Good for the soul food. You feel me? Alright, and I don't know what kind of cheese you got. I'm using the same cheese we're going to use on our tacos. Whatever you got, that's what we're going to use. Alright, so we're going to put a little bit on top. Alright, then we're just going to put this in a 350-degree oven, I don't know, for 20 minutes. Our food's cooked. My beef was warm when we got it to put into the casserole, so yeah, that's what we're looking at, man. Watch how beautiful this comes out when we're done. I get it. I'm not going to get a Michelin star for this, but we're using what we got to feed our family. Can you dig it? Here we go. Put it in the oven. Set it. Don't forget it. Here we go. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we got our taco meat. Look at this stuff. This is awesome. The gold mine to find when you're trying to find something to eat is tortillas. We love them here in Texas. All right, so just good old tacos, man. Lay them out. I like to put a little bit of the cheese down first. I don't need to tell you people in Texas how to make tacos. I'm just saying. Here we go. We got our beautifully cooked ground beef with our rotel and our chilies and our onions. Right? Little taco meat action. Now, so we got tacos. You can dig that, right? Everybody loves tacos. It's a crowd pleaser, even at home, right? A can of pinto beans. Mix it up in here, and you will have a regional facsimile chili. And y'all in Texas, I don't want to hear it because there's beans in the chili. We're trying to feed as many people as we can out of what we got in our pantry. Guidelines, people. And I like beans in my chili. Chili usually originally came from ranchers that had so much beef they didn't have room for beans. I got room for beans. So anyway, we got taco salad, tacos, chili. Let's move on to the next item. All right, guys, our last little meal of the day. We got our beautifully cooked salted pasta. Perfect. We put it in there, big old bowl. We got our meat sauce. Put a little meat sauce on there. Right? I didn't really mix it up. This is one of my favorites, man. I turn this kind of into a casserole sometimes, just like the other one we're working on right now. I want more meat. Oh, there, the casserole's done. All right, once we got all meat, sauce, and pasta, and all that deliciousness, man, it's ready to serve. We're good to go. All right, and then if you have some really great imported Romano or Parmesan cheese, use that. If not, use the good old shaker cheese. And see right there, this is satisfying to me. Now, is this going to be as good as your favorite Italian restaurant like Vespaio? Hell no, it's not. But it's going to be affordable. You did it yourself, did it for pennies, and you took up some time from this boredom, from all this quarantining we're going through. You saw we had our tacos. That's one way. Served with little chips, right? Then I took that rest of that beef. I mixed it with some chopped tomatoes out of the can and some beans. Let me take that. It smells delicious. I wish we had smell-o-vision. We're going to use some our generic Fritos. Right? You might have Fritos in the pantry, you don't know. A little bit of our chili on there. Oh yeah, man. Let all that juicy stuff soak into the Fritos. Hit it with a little bit of cheese. If you got sour cream, man, it's a bonus, right? So now we got our tacos. We got chili. And if you don't want the tortillas and the rest of that stuff, you make a taco salad. I put just some good old generic chips in there. Dump some of the meat and bean mixture here. You feel me? That's going to make those chips soften up. It's delicious. Hit it with some lettuce. Right? And our beautifully chopped tomatoes. You remember. Alright? Now you got a taco salad. But wait! I got some ranch dressing. Just drizzle of that on there. Now you're really good to go. But there's more. Cheese, of course. So there, with our one south of the border mixture, and 1 lean protein. We got chili, we got tacos, we got taco salad. Now our pasta that came out so delicious with the Parmesan cheese. Now that meat sauce you can use for lasagna, spaghetti, anything you want to taste with that kind of Italian flair, that's what you're gonna get. Now we got to check our casserole. All right, there we go. I think it looks awesome. So you got this beautiful casserole. You can put it on like a bowl on top of potatoes or whatever you want, but I just pull it out of the oven. What you want to do is let this rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let everything soak into that rice, and it'll be a lot easier to cut into squares and pull out. But I'm telling you, man, this stuff is a really homey, just delicious, salty, cheesy. It's just home style goodness. It's good for the soul. So guys, that's pretty much what we got here. Tacos, chili, taco salad, spaghetti type situation, and some home style beef casserole with 1 lean protein. I'll thank you guys for hanging out with us. I know I seemed a little bit nervous and shaky. I've never done this before. We'll see you next time. Let us know if you liked it. Peace!